This is where the magic happens. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bedroom studio. It is your man at his parents' house, jcontra. And I actually haven't gone through this recently, so this will be a journey both for you and I. And I'd like to just see what's here. I mean, I generally know what's here. I sort of remember what's here. This is stuff that I actually just brought back. This is an American Wii that I picked up off of an expat who was leaving. You find a lot of folks, a lot of foreigners in Japan will bring stuff with them. And, you know, they're people who like games, but they're not collectors like you or I. So what they'll do is they'll try to get rid of them at really good prices. So I was able to pick up that to play some games. Here's a Model 1 Mega Drive that I brought back here to Japan because I can't use this to capture gameplay because it puts stereo audio out through the headphone jack. See, it's got a headphone, it's like, what, 3.5 millimeters? You can control the volume here. And that's a really cool function, but actually out of this port in the back, which is what I would use to connect it to my capture card, there's no stereo audio. It's only mono audio out for the Model 1 Mega Drive. Also, something I brought back was the Famicom Modem, which is this crazy idea that Nintendo had back in the late 80s, I want to say, where you could connect to the internet to mostly look at stocks. Sorry, this takes a little bit to open up, but I was able to find this complete, and it's got this beautiful artwork, and that's mostly why I bought it, because it's pretty much useless now. It had everything in it, and that is so cool to me. Like, this is the game that actually came with it. I actually got it complete in box with the manual complete. I actually haven't played this. I don't even know if you can do this single player. I've never actually gotten around to booting this up, but it is so cool. Got a nice keyboard controller. That's awesome. And then here's the modem that actually plugs into the console itself. But it's not really a ton of use to me back in Japan, so it's a nice collector's item to have, and I would like to do a video on it sometime, because I don't even think anybody's actually captured any video of it in action. Oh, sorry, Wally. I want to preserve everything in this properly, and so I'm going to waste your time watching this video putting back the Famicom adapter. I also brought back a shoebox full of N64 games. I am very nearly done with my N64 collection. What you're looking at here is, in addition to my 2 gaming closets, this is 7 years of collecting so far, and I've almost finished my N64 collection. There's only, I think, 1 game left, and that is Knife Edge Nose Gunner. It's like a helicopter game that I've seen it before, but I just never got around to picking it up because I actually want to play some of these games, but there will be a day where I have a complete N64 collection. And Zool is, oh, this is a really cool kind of like Monster Rancher. You know, it was trying to be Pokemon, and you could collect all of these different monsters and level them up, and it was fun to play for a couple hours. Also a bunch of rally games that came out in Japan. There's a lot of racing games that came out in Japan, which is interesting because not a lot of people own cars, especially if they live in this city. But I guess people like to live out. I mean, I know I do, playing Gran Turismo. I like to drive fast and expensive cars. And of course, you've got all of the shogi and mahjong games that came out for the N64. And I guess I could also show off. This is a really interesting find. This is, what is this? Mudita Shogi 64, and this actually has a cable modem inside it so that you could, I think, do multiplayer. I don't think you can even use this today, but that is so cool. I don't think there's been any other N64 cartridge like this. So let's put those away. We'll move on to another game or another box. Side, yeah. So there's all games. I guess we could go to the Super Nintendo games before we go on to the consoles. Let's see, what do I even have in here? Sorry for trying to take this apart. Got, oh yeah, Wild Tracks. What was it? Stunt Racer 3D? I can't remember what it was in the English, but this is a really cool, very slow game, just because you're using 3D polygons and I think a super graphics chip or something. Although this, oh yeah, Gun Hazard, actually a very fun game, highly recommended. It's super cheap, you can find it anywhere. This is from the Front Mission RPG series, but this is like an action mech RPG. Hold on, sorry for the shadows there. That's It's good. Another, oh yeah, Gundam Wing. This is the Endless Duel. Is a fantastic, like, it's like Street Fighter but with Gundams, and that is awesome. Breath of Fire, I can't necessarily recommend Breath of Fire because I actually don't like it that much, but it's, you know, it's a fine game. If you're really into RPGs. Oh yeah, there's Super R-Type. That's a great game. Oh yeah, Axelay. This is a great shooter that kind of like, it's like a vertical shooter. Sometimes it's a horizontal shooter. Sometimes it's like a head-on shooter. That is, it's pretty wild. Oh, there's Street Fighter Turbo, Star Fox. I got a lot of different stuff in here. I even have Super Mario RPG. This is a pretty cheap way to play Super Mario RPG. What else in here? Oh yeah, and then Gundam F91 is it's a great, like, I guess you could say tactical game. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics, but with Gundams. I love that. Romancing Saga. I fucking hate this game. I hate Romancing Saga. I don't know if I'm playing it wrong or what, but I hate it. It's definitely not as good as Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy III. So those are the games. I don't think I'll bore you with the N64 games. You know, what do you expect? It's N64 games. But we can move on to some of the consoles, the loose consoles that I've got. I try to keep the boxed consoles in my closet. What do I have here? Oh yeah, so I wrap them in plastic because with all of the motion of moving it around, I don't want to ding the consoles themselves. These guys have been through a lot. I've had to get them through security and customs in America, and I don't want anything to happen to them, so I try to wrap it in plastic. And I also try to keep all of my N64s. I have almost all of the colors. There's only one or two that I'm missing, and I try to keep them with those expansion slots there. This was the Midnight Blue N64. This was available at, I think in Japan it was Toys R Us exclusive. I know in America it was definitely Toys R Us exclusive, but I can't tell you that for Japan because I just was not around. And what is in here? Oh yeah, okay, this is the, I don't think Nintendo ever really did play it loud in Japan, with I guess the exception, because you can see here, this has got the complete, both the bottom and the top are in the Midnight Blue color. But Nintendo in Japan would only do these white bottom N64s with the colored top. So yeah, this is, what is it, like icy blue? I think in America they did the full console itself. Put those to the side. And then, oh yeah, what's in... I guess here's just a random box full of stuff that is not very interesting. Oh yeah, there's my Japanese Wii. I've got a black Japanese Wii. Actually, it's one of the consoles that I don't have complete in box yet. Although those are really cheap, so I'll probably put that one eventually. A bunch of controllers. Let's move that to the side. Nothing interesting in there. Oh, what do I have in here? Actually, I could not tell you. So I love the boxes that Gundam models come in. So I try and preserve them and use them whenever I can. This is a great model. I love Shinanju. It's one of my favorite Gundams. So let's see what we've got in here. Oh, here's my top-loading 3DO. There's actually, I think this is the one that you can use to run, you know, games that you definitely own. That's the games that you would put into here. That's what I'm talking about. But this top loader is a really cool model. Kind of reminds me of the top-loading PlayStation 2 and the top-loading PlayStation 3. I think the controller should be in here somewhere. Side. Oh, and then here's the top-loading Neo Geo CD. This is a great console. I love it. It's slow when you compare it to the CDZ, but it's got some great action on it. And hopefully you can. It's kind of sorry about the light there, folks. But this, as you can see, I picked this up at a hard off for $16. If you found this complete in box today, it would probably be worth about $200. I don't even know what a loose one would cost. There's all the different cables. Here's like the S-video cable that you would plug into the back. There's the controller. These controllers are, man, these are like $50 now. It's crazy what's happened to these controllers. So if you see a controller, and especially the great thing to do now, and something I've actually seen at some hard-offs, is you can find these in the junk. And they'll be like $30 in the junk because the console doesn't work, or because they can't find the proprietary AC adapter. But just $30 alone for a junk console, even if it didn't work and it has the controller, you're golden there. Okay, let's move around. Oh yeah, all right. Well, you can see from the even from the clear plastic badge. This is my favorite Dreamcast that I will ever own. It is my pink Hello Kitty Dreamcast. I remember buying this before it became a thing. Now this is worth like $100, but I definitely did not pay that for this. It's a great system. The plastic hasn't yellowed. Oh, this is so cool. It actually also came with a keyboard, but that might be back in Japan. I'm not sure. And then it even had a controller to match. Oh, and I even have the... Oh, yes, and the Hello Kitty VMU. Oh, man, that's awesome. I completely forgot about this. Oh, that's great. Put you back, move you over. Oh, and then there's my orange Pikachu N64. I believe a Japan exclusive. I think America got the blue one, and we've got right here the orange one. This is a great console, although again, even loose, this is going to set you back a few coins if you buy it in Tokyo. Then over here, another Japanese exclusive. What was Nintendo in orange? We've got the orange Pikachu console, which, correct me, write it in the comment, but this was exclusive to Japan, and so was the Spice Orange GameCube. That is cool. I actually will probably end up bringing this back with me to Japan because I want to play more GameCube games. And then here's just a random loose Dreamcast, including a VMU, which I wish I knew I had because I could have just brought this back with me instead of spending $4 on another one. When we come around, here is the Dance Dance Revolution pad. This is a one-of-a-kind pad for the Nintendo 64. You can tell it's been bleached by some fluorescent lights at a video game store, but the pad that's inside is fantastic. And you can even tell, look at that, actually, yeah, this is where they would have had the price sticker, and so the ink looks great there, but then all of the light hitting its surroundings. I actually haven't even opened this yet, but here's a Dead or Alive 3 Fightstick. I got this for the Xbox because I love Dead or Alive, and I would like to use it for shooters on the Xbox whenever I get around to playing those. Here we've got, oh, the Typing of the Dead keyboard set. Actually, playing the Japanese is really weird because all you're inputting is the English or the Romaji into the game. You're not actually typing katakana or hiragana. So this is a very weird game to play, but the Typing of the Dead keyboard set is a fantastic find for any Dreamcast collector. And this is actually something that I guess is technically my dad's. But this is the Super Scope that we bought back in the mid-90s. My dad liked playing with the Super Scope games. We actually have there's a couple good ones. I remember there's a Gundam game that I can't remember what it's called. I mean, it's not legally a Gundam game, but it's, big mechs and you shoot at them, and that's really fun. This is the Japanese Famicom release of the Power Glove. As you can see, it's got even... Why did they put English on it? Did they just, this is pretty similar to the American box, right? Am I wrong in thinking that? Let's see, let's pull this open. It's exactly the same as an American Power Glove, I think. I don't have any experience with an NTSC North America Power Glove, but here we've even got the manual. Oh, this is beautiful. It's in great condition. I remember buying this. I think I've used this a little bit, but I'm not a professional Power Glove user, folks. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. Let's put you away. I remember the Power Glove. I don't know. I remember the only real experience I have with the Power Glove is watching the Angry Video Game Nerds video about the Power Glove, and I could not tell you if the Japanese one works better or worse. And I think what we're going to end this on is this console box. Let's see what's inside. Oh yeah, there's my there's the Super Famicom Junior. Here we go. It's much like the Super Nintendo Mini. What did they call it in America? I can't remember. But I guess it's a cool form factor. The only problem is that it does not output native RGB like its bigger counterpart. So I think even if you attach the SCART cables to this, you're not going to get that great of a picture. Although I wonder if it is like the one-chip SNES and outputs a great composite video or component, whichever one of those is true. I've actually got a bunch of controllers. I got these guys. These one, I've been noticing that these particular Nintendo branded, the white, red, and yellow component or composite, whichever ones these are, These are getting really expensive, anywhere from $8 to $10, even in the junk bin. Thank goodness I bought them when they were much cheaper. And then here is, oh yeah, here's my backup Super Famicom. It looks, yeah, looks like it's still in good condition. A little bit of yellowing on that, on this top plastic here. I guess that plastic is different from the side. It's probably hard to tell from the orangey yellow light coming down on it, but it's a great system. I have no idea if it's a one chip or not, and I don't know how externally you could even tell the difference. So this has been the Under the Bed collection tour. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've found some interesting things. Once again, beautiful orange consoles. I love the color orange, and I will try and get all of the orange consoles that I possibly can. So I've been your man in his parents' house, jcontra, saying thanks for watching. See you next time, and mahalo.